And so I will say the average GP practice that starts 5 cases a week. And that might seem like a lot for a person who's doing zero and doesn't know what they're doing. But 5 cases a week is really not hard to find when you have a steady flow of clients who are already your own and you're seeing on a rotating basis, whether they're children, teens, or adults. If you can get 5 cases a week, and let's just, for easy numbers, let's just say it's a full year, that's $1.7 million in revenue. 1.7 million of revenue you have not even touched. Of course, that comes with you need to have a little bit of education. You need to have a little bit of support. Obviously, I come from Clearly Aligned. We have some of the greatest education available. But there are also support systems like me who help you with digital setups. And so that's 5 that you're keeping. And my hope would be that the other 20 or 25 that you feel are not in your wheelhouse, that the complexity is too great, or you don't have the level of understanding to treat the rest of them.
Hello and welcome to another episode of The Champion Dentist. I'm delighted to have with us today Kelley Tyrrell, and this lady is one of those people who has been given a surplus of talent, and now you're going to benefit from that as it relates to the world of aligner orthodontics. So Kelley, welcome to The Champion Dentist.
Thank you so much for having me, Michael. It's nice to meet you virtually.
It is an absolute pleasure. We're going to talk about aligner orthodontics, and you're an expert. There's no question about it. But before I do that, I really want people to hear your background. So I'm going to tell people your bio. I will read it now, okay? And guys, it's impressive. So here we go. Kelley is a registered dental hygienist with nearly 30 years of experience in Canada. Shout out to Canada. We do not want to make it the 51st state, at least I don't. Specializing in orthodontics and digital treatment workflows. Throughout her career, she has helped orthodontic and general practices achieve significant growth while developing a passion for coaching providers at every stage of their digital orthodontic journey. Her experience includes educational and leadership roles with innovative aligner companies where she taught software, biomechanics, and digital treatment concepts to orthodontists and graduate students. Kelley currently serves as an Align speaker, lead digital treatment planner, and education executive with Clearly Aligned, which is an education company, while continuing to design digital orthodontic cases. This is her life. Digital orthodontic cases, designing them for leading providers throughout North America, and I think even Europe too, right?
Yes.
As the founder of OrthoFans, questionable name here, not sure about that. Founder of OrthoFans, don't get confused, guys. Kelley supports orthodontists and their teams through digital delegation strategies, workflow optimization, and growth consulting. She is a strong advocate for high-level delegation. I like this, believing that efficient systems empower doctors to focus their time where it matters most. Known for her energy and enthusiasm, Kelley inspires teams to embrace innovation and the habit changes that accompany successful digital transformation. Welcome, Kelley. I love your
Thank you so
background.
much.
Love your
Thank you.
background. And what a, I've been in dentistry for almost 50 years. You've been around it for 30. There you go. A lot has changed. A lot has changed.
It has so much.
And so the whole world of ortho, going back to when I was a pup and 13 and had ortho, and it's changed so much. The whole world of dentistry has changed so much. So our world has changed so much because of all things digital. My first question for you is, as I understand it, about 30, maybe 40% of general practitioners in North America are doing aligners, which means the majority are not.
Exactly.
So for the GP guys and gals that are with us today, who they have an interest, or maybe they've heard some stuff that has kind of told them, no, don't get into it. Please tell us why clear aligner therapy makes sense in a GP practice.
Yeah, I think it's a great opportunity. It makes sense in GP practice for a couple of reasons. One, those clients are in your chair and you're seeing them on a daily basis from new patient exam at age 2 or 3 all the way throughout, hopefully, their journey if they stay in your community. So you really have eyes on them. So you're the first point of contact to be able to identify those cases. Now, I'm a huge advocate of specialists. I came from ortho specialty. I still feel like that's my home base. And so I strongly believe in referring to orthodontists as well. But there is a lane that GPs can fit in very comfortably, feel very confident in their treatment, that they are treating to a standard that an orthodontist, that their local orthodontist would appreciate and support. And I love the idea of that collaboration. And so I think it's real. Well, I know it's really early days for this kind of collaboration and this getting along. I'm happy to be part of pushing the envelope there in that journey and letting us all know that, there's an abundance mentality, there's a growth mindset, and that GPs can and are very capable of high level work, but also that local orthodontist will be receiving more cases than ever from their referring GP, because once they're educated to identify those cases and know what to treat appropriately and what to refer, not only will the patient win, which is our obligation as healthcare providers, the patient will win, having better smiles, better functional and aesthetics, but also both the orthodontist and the GP will win. I will just say, I mean, I'm not great at math, but I'm pretty good at ortho math, and so I will say, the average GP practice that starts 5 cases a week. And that might seem like a lot for a person who's doing zero and doesn't know what they're doing. But 5 cases a week is really not hard to find when you have a steady flow of clients who are already your own and you're seeing on a rotating basis, whether they're children, teens, or adults. If you can get 5 cases a week, and let's just, for easy numbers, let's just say it's a full year, that's $1.7 million in revenue. 1.7 million of revenue you have not even touched. Of course, that comes with you need to have a little bit of education. You need to have a little bit of support. Obviously, I come from Clearly Aligned. We have some of the greatest education available. But there are also support systems like me who help you with digital setups. And so that's 5 that you're keeping. And my hope would be that the other 20 or 25 that you feel are not in your wheelhouse, that the complexity is too great, or you don't have the level of understanding to treat the rest of them, that the other 15 go to your local orthodontist, who is going to be sending you muffins every Friday for the rest of your life, because they're just going to be like, wow, like, thank you. Like, that's really game on. And then I think it really opens the door for you and your local orthodontist, multiple, to sit down and have maybe monthly or quarterly meetings and really start to discuss cases, because there are times that we get into trouble as GPs, not trouble, but we're confused, or help me out
Yeah.
of this problem without feeling like an idiot and like going to them with your tail between your legs, but really sitting down as professionals and say, hey, can we work through a couple of these cases together, and really have a meeting of the minds and really embrace that true meaning of collaboration and referral, not just, here, I wrote down, this guy's name or this lady's name, and I want you to go see them. And that's the end of the collaboration until the final photos are done. I think we can do better. And I am lucky to be surrounded by really growth mindseted and abundance thinking orthodontists who are forward thinking in this space. They're not like, ooh, don't do any ortho, that's all mine, and you're taking them all. I don't surround myself with those people. I like to surround myself with people who know better and do better, and that really all boats rise with the tide. Like, the patient, better experience, the team has a lighter, fluffier something to add to their roster, new skill set, and then the ortho and GPs benefit both professionally, but also in profit. So it's a win for all.
Absolutely. And there's just in what you've just said, there's a number of things that we will wind up unpacking in our time together. But let's start at first grade. We all went to first grade.
Okay.
Here's the GP, and they're going, well, okay, Kelley, where do I start? Whether you are familiar with Invisalign or Candid Pro or any of the other options out there, is the first place to start with a rep, or is the first place to start with taking a look at one of the great educational providers out there that are very sophisticated, like Clearly Aligned? Where do you start?
That's a great question. I would say start with your local rep. I mean, obviously, my product of choice has been Invisalign. I do know a lot about the other products, all the other scanners. I am well versed. Otherwise, I wouldn't really be an expert in my space if I was just drinking the Kool-Aid from one provider.
Yeah.
What I love is simplicity and systems that can repeat themselves. So Align really is that one-stop shop because they have the ortho restorative, which for GPs, that's important to have that. The labs are integrated. The scanners are amazing. And they also have all the tools that help us teach and sell the cases or educate the patients. Sometimes I say teach and profit a lot, but I'll say that's because of my age and I'm running out of life to achieve my financial goals. But
I hear you. Yeah.
I'll just say disclaimer, obviously patient care is first, but I'm going to talk a lot about the business part because we're talking about business here.
Okay. So
So
you start with your rep,
yeah.
and
And
now
the
let's.
reason for, yeah, I would say the reason I would say start with your rep is not because it's a product that's at the end of it and I'm trying to force you towards Invisalign. It's because that rep has free access for you to get some free education, to get the ball rolling, both with how to use the tools, how to use the tools appropriately for your new patient exams, to get the ball rolling. So use the free stuff first. And they also know all the education available to you so that they can direct you towards Clearly Aligned, or we have other great providers in the space as well who might be the shallow end for you. You might need to get in at a shallow end and have some consultants come in or different people to kind of get you excited, get your team motivated before you do a deeper dive into our education is for beginners all the way to advanced. We have the full spectrum. But again, your territory manager knows all of this. They've got their full Bible of everyone.
Okay. So you said something a bit ago that I think for anyone listening, wow, to do one a day, 15, 20 a month, and to have over $1 million in aligner revenue. And there's a waterfall effect because aligners done well changes
Mhm.
someone's life. And we know this statistically that those patients tend to stay and refer and
Yes.
potentially seek other treatment as well. So
Yes.
there's a high value associated, a higher value than normal with an aligner patient. That's a fact.
Exactly.
But for someone who has either not in it or they've gotten into it, they've kind of gotten some degree of understanding, they have some degree of confidence, and they'd like to do a lot more.
Hmm.
What you're saying is make sure that you have sound fundamentals and
Hmm.
that you also have a relationship with an orthodontist.
Hmm.
Because, yeah, for example, Kelly, as you know, I've created at the Champion Dentist, part of Trivantage, we have an Invisalign growth program. Because what I have seen, and I'd love your comments on this, is that a weekend seminar, a marketing lecture, that's a discordant set of information. And what you
Hmm.
need is a program. And because this is a portion of your practice that is of significance and
Hmm.
it needs to be well organized. And it can become of significance not only in terms of the benefits you're delivering, but also the income that it can create for your practice. So the
Exactly.
program that we have allows a practice to have coaching, to have guidance on everything from the philosophy of care, what we call green, yellow, and red.
Okay.
You identify these are the green cases that to your team, these are the
Hmm.
cases that we're readily going to do.
Hmm.
Yellow, we're going to need to do some homework.
Hmm.
And red, these are cases that we need to refer out. So
Hmm.
having that whole program is very important. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, I think it does make sense to have definitely people on the ground. I mean, education companies, we can't be in all practice. It's a huge scalability problem. And so watching it on a monitor or going to weekend courses, like you said, is fantastic. You're like, okay, these are my people. I'm really understanding, what you're laying down. I like your delivery style. I like all the things. And oftentimes, we do have steps as well. We have things that we're giving you, but sometimes you do need someone to hold your hand and hold you accountable in person. And so for the people who need that, 100%, these are our consultants. I love our consultants. I worked for top ortho practices. We were killing it on our own. But I always looked forward once a year to our Gage, shout out to Gage, Gage consultants who would come in and they would really like lock us down, make us aware of inconsistencies and inefficiencies. And again, to your point, Did it do Align any harm that they also probably at the time had some advice and some protocols and a little how-to booklets that they gave us, or a pattern that we were working through? No, more is more. This is like an additive space where we're all helping each other to grow. So I love that you do that and that you have people in the office. I will say for GPs, for sure, there is a scale of complexity. So red, yellow, green. Personally, I think I feel bad because I do work for Align, but Align has the Invisalign Go package or whatever, or junior packages, if you will say. I really don't believe in those at all. I like the full package. I think it takes us time to do good work. We're going to try to do it very efficiently. But having software tell you, yes, you can do this case, or no, you can't do that case, I don't think so. I think you need the education to self-choose. And I will say, every GP is different. Every orthodontist is different. The cases that they should be treating with Invisalign or digital braces with light force or whatnot, it's going to be unique to each doctor. So in some of those instances, you're going to start off green with adult simple crowding cases, or simple open bite cases, or simple spacing cases. Those are the three easiest for Invisalign, because you're a GP and you should stick to the shallow end. I would say, you know what, you have a bunch of children in your practice, and children's teeth move easily, and we're trying to create nice wide arches to prevent in the next 10 years a whole epidemic of these canine impactions and Lululemon shape arches and all these things. So for some GPs, that makes more sense for that to be in their green zone. So I think the green, yellow, red is flexible depending on their clientele and what's in their community and what they're going to be looking at, and also their skill set. But children aren't always harder than adults. There are adults who are, like, honestly a real pain in the ass, not just personality wise, but their teeth are stubborn because of ethnicity or bone levels or just complexities. It's just complex work. So I do like that initial step where you identify with that doctor, hey, your clientele is really heavy children, teen, tween. Maybe we direct you more towards some education in that space because that's your client base. And let's see, out of those, which 5 you keep and which 15 you refer. So again, we're still all winning. We're still being safe. We're doing it properly, and we're well educated. But definitely having people on the ground and having a master plan and someone holding you accountable to the systems, I'm all for that.
So when we look at dentistry, we know dentistry is a team sport,
Yes.
right? And I think a lot of dentists wind up putting themselves, whether they do it intentionally or not, into a box where everything revolves around them. And we coach, we want you to become a clinical CEO. That
Mm-hmm.
means that you have a successful, highly profitable practice where you have it, I like to say, less stress and maximum success. That requires the development of a leadership team. You've
Mm-hmm.
got to have a leadership team. And in dentistry, coming out of dental school, the idea of developing a leadership team is not something that's taught. Now, when we look at the world of aligner orthodontics, would you agree that it's very important that the doctor recognize this is a team approach that
Mm-hmm.
has to be taken here? Everything from the team at the front to, in particular, hygiene, to
Mm-hmm.
you as the clinician, to assistants with it, with attachments, treatment coordinators. Would you agree that, boy, there needs to be coordination there? If you want to get to that 20, 15, 20 a month, this is not going to happen on the force of will with the doctor, him or herself. Would you agree with that?
100%. If you don't have the team on board with your vision, your strategy, your goals, they're going to be getting in your own way. And I will say, I had that experience. My first GP doctor I worked for, he signed us both up for the Invisalign, doctor course, and he signed me up as a doctor because he knew I was going to be helping him. I was definitely going to take a front seat to
Mhm.
that. It was just the two of us in practice. It was a small little practice, but he had many practices. And I was the obstacle because I was like, I didn't have the confidence or the education behind us to think we could do this successfully. for the patient. I didn't, a business wise, sure, of course we could have got the yes and executed it, but the quality I didn't think we could deliver. And so, yeah, I would say, from the front desk who are answering the phones, who are greeting your patients, us talking about it out in the community as team members when I'm sitting at my child's dance or soccer or whatever. I mean, I brought in so many patients to my offices because obviously all I do is talk about what I'm passionate about. But it was my doctors who gave me the gift of sending me to education as a team member. Sometimes you think, oh, I'm not going to bring my team. That's an extra hotel and I have to pay $700 for her and XYZ. That seems like too much. Like, are they going to listen? Are they going to get it? But you need to have at least a few key people who really know the big picture. And then you need to at least have lunch and learns. Again, Align is great for this, where they give you just enough information to all be like, okay, yes, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. I've got it. I'm excited because the practice is going to
Yeah.
grow. And I think as the practice grows and makes more money, most good leaders trickle that down to their team members and realize, like, hey, we started here and we're here. And I know you had a part of that. And here's your reward. Otherwise, you end up fizzling out. But the team needs to have confidence, and they also need to be experts where they're working. So if it's admin, there are things that they need to own it and be accountable for their portion of education to the patient. They are answering the phone, monitoring, hygiene. You need to be accountable for some education, taking the records, etc. And then doctors, you have to be very careful to include everyone, because I see this a lot with new providers, because it's new and they're nervous about it and they've only learned the education. They don't have time to reteach it to team members. They're doing it all themselves. They're bonding the buttons. They're talking. They're selling it. They're monitoring it. That is a complete waste of your time. I will say you want to be involved in that to some degree, so that you have an understanding of what it takes and how much time it takes, so that you can empathize with your team and help and guide your team. But then you step back. Then you step back and be like, okay, this is $100 an hour job, a task. This is a $100 an hour task. And so this is an admin task. This is a TC task. I'm going to delegate this. In fact, I would say these days, some of the $100 to $300 tasks, these are AI tasks, which we're all just getting our feet under us about, like, what can we delegate and get AI to help us with, not to replace people, but so that those people can now work on the $500 an hour tasks, which before, there's still a lot of dentists and even orthodontists who are doing that whole list. They just think no one can do it like them, or they haven't enabled or empowered their team to do those tasks.
But Kelley, I'm gonna interject a question here.
Yeah.
And actually, I have two questions in a row here. One is a bit of a sidebar.
Okay.
And that is, in your experience, what you've seen and what you know is capable now today, do you believe that a GP who becomes skilled in aligner orthodontics and develops this as a significant part of their practice, do you think that they're happier, healthier, higher income dentists than they would have been otherwise?
I know this to be true. It's
Okay.
facts.
So,
My founder, Dr. Stephen Schulk, after he graduated dentistry, he could have gone to ortho grad school, but he decided to do a different route. He has a full ortho practice. He's never done GP work. He's killing it. He works 7 days a month, if that a month. He doesn't even live in the province that he works in. Like, he has developed this huge successful office that runs without him because he can remote do it, and he's empowered people like me and many other levels of it to run this practice and then do what he's passionate about, which clearly is speaking. And so, but even on a different level, we have many GP doctors who are doing similar. They have a practice within a practice, a really robust ortho practice, which adds lightness to, hygienists. If I was still there scaling and route planning quad by quad, oh my God, I'd kill myself. No, I love spending that amount of time with the patients. But like, honestly, at a certain point, I was having to slap myself in the face. I'm a really good scaler, but that is boring work. And so if you pepper in some Invisalign cases and some, implants and restorative and conversations, hell yeah, like whitening, like give me some lighter work to do, especially as we get older. And so what it does is you have this big practice that adds value and health to everyone. And then you also have this fully robust ortho restorative practice that feeds each other. The funnel just
Yeah.
feeds each other. So it's amazing.
Well, I also think it's more accessible in my view than even getting into implants as a GP,
Mm-hmm.
because the volume that you're going to do, the number of patients you're going to treat with regard to
Mm-hmm.
malocclusion is much higher than the number of people who need an implant. Number one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so the effect on you, your team, and your practice is significant, can be very significant.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm underlining that because we want dentists and their teams to be happy, healthy, and whole. And that relates again to leadership and the leadership team and the structure, but it also relates to what you're doing
Mm-hmm.
and what is the philosophy of care and what are you doing day in and day out. And being able to address this world of aligner orthodontics in combination with working with orthodontists, it is transformative, in my
Mm-hmm.
opinion, to the general practice. Would you again agree with that point?
Yeah, I think the entry level of being able to enter that space and doing it with confidence, it's totally doable. You literally could start like a week from now, like you order your supplies, like which don't take a lot of supplies. Ortho, we don't have a lot of stuff. Most of the time, I don't even open my mirror because I'm so respectful to my SteriTech. I'm like, I'm not going to open that mirror just so it's open on my tray. I need a pen. I need a pen in my tray cover. That's about it for most of my ortho. And so it's very accessible. And I will also say that it really opens the door. Like you mentioned, implants, obviously we know that's a highly profitable space. When you're doing the foundation right of all these, let's say adults or teens cases, there's a crazy number of missing teeth these days. That's adaptation. We're like evolution. We're missing a lot of teeth from our soft diet. But partnering those where you're setting the foundation, opening up the spaces and dropping in implants, crazy. That's crazy profitable. So I love that. Also partnering it with little like IBLs, little bondings, little cosmetic touches. Not wall-to-wall veneers. That's fantastic. You might get handfuls of those, maybe 100 a year of those big wow cases. But if every single client gets little tiny composite edges because they need it, not because it's extra or not needed, but the little worn and chipped off or small laterals that we're building up, all of that adds up to big, big dollars. And again, we're talking about dollars, but imagine the smiles that are attached to these, the
Yeah,
people who
no,
never had teeth and, have little chipped edges and thought they had to put up with that. It's amazing.
so let's now go to the world of Kelley
Mm-hmm.
and what you do with OrthoFans.
Mm-hmm.
And now let's go to this mix of what's going on with the GP and the orthodontist. We'll have orthodontists watching as well. But let's talk about that GP, whether they're just beginning or they're doing the 5 a month or they're doing the 20 a month. At what point does it make sense for them to learn about you and what you're up to and to start using you as an adjunct team member?
Yeah. So basically, again, I wear so many hats and for so many different things. I will say for GPs, as part of Clearly Aligned, where we do education, we also have ClinCheck support. Is there a tipping point where you need a master digital tech? So to put it in perspective, what does a master digital tech do? I take your case, you put in the prescription. A lot of the times you're like, whatever you think. You don't know the prescription. You don't know if they're going this way or that way or up or down or what they need. And that's okay. And so basically I get the prescription and I take it over. And so I basically set up the case, walk you through my decision making. So it's an educational experience and you're listening, you're leaning in because this is your patient. You're going to deliver this. So you're really attentive. It's not like you're sitting back and you're watching cases go across a PowerPoint and you're like, that's amazing. That's great that you did that. I don't know how you did it, but that's amazing. I want to do that too, but I don't know how. So I'm showing you how. So it really is like paint by number, also giving you the delivery instructions like, okay, there's elastics. You're going to start elastics here. You're going to monitor. This is what you're looking for. So it really is paint by number for GPs in that space. And so when should they start? Their first case. With their first 10 cases, that's why Clearly Aligned gives us 10 cases. They can be different cases or they can be all of the same. I would say your first 10 cases in the first 3 months. Just give them to us and you'll get a little educational video. You keep that video forever, and you can use it as reference if you want to start setting up for yourself. That's fantastic. What my experience has been is that, well, both. There are doctors who learn and then I never see them again, and they're killing it now. They're doing hundreds and hundreds of cases. They love digital setups. It's like their Sudoku or whatever. Like, they're enjoying it, and so that's time well spent for them. Fantastic. I will say the other camp, orthodontists included, are like, I know how to do it. You've taught me. I'm a smart learner. I'm a professional. I've got it. Now I just don't want to do it. So I want you to do it. So my orthodontist will hire me. Again, these could be small community orthos. These could be big aligned speakers on the stage, killing it, multi-practice, but their career is now education or family time or skiing or golf. They use me as well. They're not so much interested in the education. I don't make videos for them. It's just the easy button. And so basically they're protecting their time. So again, GPs who are in that space, they're just using me to protect their time so that they can sit to your side and do their veneers.
Here's what I love about what you just said. If I'm new to Invisalign and I have the ability to, well, I obtain the education, but then I have the ability to have a master like Kelley mentoring me from case number one.
Yeah.
Number one, I'm going to be grateful. Number two, my degree of confidence is going to
Yes.
be so much higher. My desire to pursue this is going to be multiplied because I know I'm not the lone wolf in the wilderness that, oh my God, I've got to figure this out. No, I've got to rely on a line or whoever it is to figure this out for me. To be mentored, to be coached in this situation, I think is absolutely golden. And what I also loved about what I just heard from you is that no matter where you are in your journey, whether you are a beginner, medium level, or an expert, there's tremendous value in working with an individual like Kelley. And Kelley, you heard this before we started. I would love to clone you because dentistry needs more people like you who have this expertise. Your people like you are really hard to find. You know, I owned a dental laboratories, so I know what the world of master technicians is all about.
Yeah.
And I was around it for over 40 years, back when there was nothing but wax and
Yeah.
denture teeth and ceramic ovens that were as big as a microwave, and where we are now. So I rode that whole wave of 3D printing and milling, and that degree of expertise went from the master ceramist to
Yes.
to now the master digital technician.
Exactly.
And the successful labs like the ones I had, we had master digital technicians.
Hmm.
And what you're saying is, well, in the world of aligners, get yourself hooked up, mentored with the right people, both in terms
Right.
of fundamentals and as you go along, and then the day in, day out of doing cases. Don't
Exactly.
be the lone wolf, right?
No. It from a confidence level and frustration level, it just doesn't make sense. So when let's just say you're beginners, from day one, when that first child case, when that first teen case, when that adult open bite case, you thought, oh, I'm not touching that. That looks scary. When that works out, and by works out, I mean you got through your first case and the first refinement, which isn't a mistake. I already know on day one, before you even deliver this case, I'll tell my new doctors what you'll be working on in refinement. And I can kind of tell you how many aligners that is as well. I let them know so that they have confidence in my plan as well, because they don't know me a lot of the time. So I'll say, okay, and in refinement, we'll still be working on this. Why? Because it's time, it's biology. And guess what? I've already put the attachments on for this. You're welcome. I just saved you chair time. Your time and your profitability and your experience and the patient's experience is also important to me, because I am a clinician. I've been there. I delivered for years. And so I have all of these things in my head when I'm planning your case, not just that biomechanically it will work. What's the experience for your dental assistant or your hygienist who's delivering it? What's the experience for the patient? Is this too complex? It's great if you have elastics going all over the woohoo, but like, is the patient going to wear them? And how is that experience for the patient? So only use complex things when complexity is required. Let's keep it simple so that we all win. And so when those cases express, as they should, you're like, wow, that worked. Let's do another one. And that's what I say is the easy button. And orthodontists who I work for, again, I typically, I love my ortho practices who give me like their platinum or their diamond or their double apex. I just do their full roster. I just, from their initial starts all the way through their refinements, I just chip through as if as if I'm then going through their homework. And they don't change an attachment. They don't do anything. They trust me. And if there's anything to communicate back and forth, I will leave them a little loom or a little note, letting them know like, hey, I wasn't drinking too much wine tonight. This is the reason that I did this thing that we wouldn't normally do. But for the GPs who are in this space, they really just are like, well, this is working. Like, why would I change this? I like this relationship. Let's just keep this going. And it opens more doors for them. But again, you don't want to, just because you have me, I mean, I'm a master tech and I work for orthodontists, so I can set up anything, but I'm very, very fair and logical. And I'm like, yeah, you could do this case. And of course I can set it up because I can set it up tonight on Sunday for an orthodontist, but you're not going to be profitable. You're going to be stressed. Chairside decisions are going to be maximum. You're going to have to make game time decisions on little nuanced auxiliaries that you're not familiar with. Is it worth it for you? Is this profit, this, let's say $4,000 profit on this case, worth it for you here? I can tell you it's not. But for the orthodontist, that's easy peasy. We make those decisions 10 times a day. So again, stick to your lane, not because you can't take on more challenging cases. It doesn't make sense stress-wise and profit-wise, but for the orthodontist, it 100% does.
So Kelley, you may have heard, and those of us with us right now, you've heard of these commencement addresses done in the last month or so where the speaker brought up the world of AI and they got booed, because here are the seniors talking and they like, oh, I'm not going to get a job thanks to AI. Why are you talking about AI? I mean, literally speakers have gotten booed on that. And I can understand their young bias and it's legitimate. But when we look at where we are right now, and this well, where do you see AI taking case planning, diagnosis and planning over the next 3 to 5 years? Do you see it becoming more and more of an aid to what you're up to and others?
Yeah, 100%. And I'm so excited about it. And you would think that I would be fearful that AI is going to take over my job. Not at all. I mean, human beings are like fingerprints. We have patterns, we have similarities, but they're so different. You would know this in the lab. Things are so difficult. There's an art to it and there's a skill. I mean, the more that AI can do, I use it every single day. But the more that AI can do, that's fantastic. Because guess what? My time is valuable too. And if I can get your case to you faster and you can deliver it faster, that's a wow experience. So I lean in heavy to it. Is it ready yet? No. What is great about AI in the planning space is that I can take my scan, my pan, my CBCT, upload it. Fantastic. I can have AI evaluate it and give me a really good head start within minutes with Invisalign. Let's just talk Invisalign. Within minutes, 20 minutes, half a day, depending on the complexity, it'll pop back. I love how fast it came back. Back in the day, it would be 3 to 5 days. I'd be waiting for that to come back and I'd have to keep checking and checking. The checking alone wastes my time. When it comes back, because I have now set up my individual personalized plan, in a lot of companies, we give you our plan. So it's like a soup starter or a chili starter. That's fantastic. So it comes back and the first thing I do is, what did the AI evaluate this case at? Did it correctly diagnose it? Not always, because AI isn't there yet. It's doing its best with the patterns and the data it has, and it will get better and better over time as we keep correcting it. So the more I correct the AI and I say, no, I don't think so, or no, that's wrong, it's listening, it's watching my patterns, it will get better. Right now, I wouldn't say it's frustrating. I would just say, out of the cases I get back, and again, keep in mind, I do high quality work for orthodontists. We're doing hard things. We're not doing simple lining up of like simple teeth. I'm doing the full spectrum. I would say maybe 60% of the cases I don't push accept. I mean, it's not that advanced, but I will say it's a really good head start. I don't have to remove too many things. Now it's just additive. I put on my finishing touches, add some auxiliaries, move things around, and we're good to go. And then the other 40%, I do the reset button. Let's reset. Let's bring it back. I don't know what's baked in here, and it's too much work for me to pick and choose out of what the AI has delivered to me on this case, I'll just quickly reset. So I have my model in front of me, and now I will use the 3D controls and the technicians if I need to. I try not to because I don't want to waste my time. And then it's off. But I've gotten it back so quick. Most of the time, I've gotten a head start. And as we lean further into this space, it takes time to get this done. I start to develop more protocols, even for myself. So obviously, my company, Clearly Aligned, that I work for, has its own template and multiple layered templates. But Kelley does things a little bit different. We're very similar. That's so obviously I work for them, so we have similarities for sure. But there's things that I like. It's like my Kelley stamp. That's my fingerprint
Yeah,
on my cases.
and I think that I I think the advent and progress of AI will magnify the human component.
Yes,
That
yes.
which is not, if you will, substitutable with AI is going to magnify the value of the human component. And I will purport this prediction. I think dentistry now will have, it has it now, it will increase more time to communicate with the patient,
Mm-hmm.
knee to knee, face to face, patient
Mm-hmm.
upright, not in the back in the vulnerable position, but having a conversation
Mm-hmm.
about who they are, what's going on in life, developing deeper connections, not
Exactly.
being
And
in.
in every industry too, like law, there's other industries who are very worried because at a push of a button you can do all the research, legal assistance, all these types of things. That's fantastic. Did we really love doing that part of the job? I don't think
Yeah,
so.
no, absolutely. So here's my hope and prediction,
Mm-hmm.
and that dentistry will take advantage of that, leverage it in terms of productivity, and that will open the door. I think it's opening the door right now for creating better, deeper relationships where people will come to value the relationship and dentistry and oral health more than they ever have in the past. Do you see that coming true?
I already see it in practice. Again, there's always the people who are the innovators and the disruptors in the space who are excited about these things and lean in hard. So I'm seeing full admin teams, again, not fired, not displaced, but replaced by AI, high level AI who is not missing a
Yeah.
call, who's giving amazing information where it doesn't seem like you're talking to a robot, but that frees up your team to have these knee to knee conversations, really engaging conversations, not like, wait, I see you, but I don't have time to like whatever, or like I checked you
Yeah.
in. That's
Yeah.
not wow. So like admin charting, amazing hygienist, like you're welcome. I use the iTero. It's going to be probing for you soon, measuring attachment levels. Like lean into the scan. Like the smartest hygienists or dental assistants on the team are the ones who always have that scanner. They're scanning every patient because what is coming down the chute is mind blowing. And if you haven't taken that scan, you're basically like churning your own butter. You're acting like you're operating like a pioneer, still marking and probing and writing on paper or typing it into your chart. You should just be speaking. It's recording all of your notes. It's recording your relationship with the patient. It is all captured by AI. We have tons of time. We have more time than we have ever had by scanning and using AI software. There's a couple of really good ones out there. Henry Schein, Dentally, and Akido One are the ones that I know of. But again, every day there's more and more things available to us. It's such an exciting space. I leaned into that heavy last year. It was one of my learning goals. And again, that's old news now. I mean, you have to kind of keep up in this space. But again, to your point at the commencement, I think it challenges us as humans. Okay, sure, AI can take a lot of the jobs, but those of us who are the ones leading the AI. So I'm not worried because I'm going to be the one telling the AI and the engineers and the coders what is needed because I'm elite in my field, humbly, but I am. I know about 5 of me in North America, and I know exactly who they are in Europe. And so we're the ones who are guiding it. So I would challenge everyone to be the best in your field, be as close to the best as you can to stay above the AI. And skills are always needed, and the human component is always needed. So we're
Let's
safe
let,
in our industry.
let's put the train in the station for a minute here and talk about something that I think is overlooked in a lot of practices, whether they're into aligners or not.
Okay.
I think a lot of practices, this is what I'm asking you as a question, are underutilizing the power of their intraoral scanner.
Mm.
Would you agree or disagree?
1,000%, 1,000%. So many of them are. One, just using it because, oh, this patient is interested in Invisalign. I already talked to them and they said yes. I mean, that is like a drop in the bucket for many GP practices. Or they're just pulling it out of the corner when you have to scan for restorative because that's what they're using it for. Oh my gosh, you are keeping the Ferrari parked in the garage and not taking
Don't
it
you
for a
think
spin.
every patient should be scanned once a year?
Every patient from age 3 up, and definitely once a year. Parents, we love seeing our children scanned. Now you can layer them on top of each other. It's like a photo album. Send them to the patients. Even if you don't know what you're identifying, the patients are going to pour over their own scan. They're going to identify the problems that they don't like. Like, let them come back to you. And while you're still learning yourself, take the scan, send it off. Don't be shy that you have to take the scan and explain it all chair side. No, 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 no. Be patient. Take your time. Scan Sundays, that's what I would call it. Scan Sundays when I have time to pour through the scans, whether you're the doctor at first and you haven't delegated this, but eventually I would delegate it to pour through the scans, scan mining. You are looking for opportunities. That's needed dentistry. Not making up dentistry here or orthodontists, but you're looking for opportunities, and don't be afraid to circle back and say, hey, I was reviewing all your notes that Sarah or Mary or whoever took and the scan in your data because that's how I spend my time because I'm your dentist and I'm amazing, or I'm your orthodontist and I'm amazing. And I wanted to show you this because, first of all, I did the outcome simulator and I think it's amazing. And I wanted to show you your in-face video. Look how amazing your smile is. And then I couldn't help myself. I just added 4 veneers and oh my God, look how amazing this looks. Like if I sent that to you, I would send it on a WhatsApp and be like, hey girl, hope you're having a good Sunday after church. I did this, that, and whatever. They're first of all thinking, oh my God, my dentist is amazing. First of all, I love her. Second of all, she's amazing. She's looking at my data on Sunday on her free time. I feel so taken care of. And 3, yeah, I love looking at myself too. So I'm going to look at my teeth over and over and over again. And she hasn't even asked me for anything other than if I want to see more or I'm ever interested in lining these teeth up or anything like that. It's a free consultation. There's no expense. The x-rays are included. Everything's included. Or at my next recall, just let us know. Reach out. Amazing. That costs us nothing, right? That's a whole
It,
job for someone. That's a whole new career.
it is such a powerful tool.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have the iTero scanner
Yeah.
or 3Shape, but we're gonna stick with the world of iTero right now,
Mm-hmm.
the training resources that are available for how to you and your team to get good, they're incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I was around it when it was called Cadent before it got bought,
Yeah.
and when it was as big as a Cadillac, a 57
Me
Chevy.
too.
They were huge. You had to, it was like going to the gym, just holding this thing. It was like, oh, this is a 10
I got
pound
my
weight.
muscles.
Yeah, there you go. So you did a lot of that. I can tell you still do. Wonderful. But now it's the gym. You don't need the 20-pound scanner. I get
Exactly.
it. So the point is the training is out there. The
Yeah.
technology is incredible. The training is out there. There are these tools, and a tool without the education to support it doesn't, you don't have the confidence. It's going to sit there. It's going to gather dust. Don't do that.
Yes.
You've
No.
made the investment, and you buy the Ferrari, drive it, learn how to
Yeah.
drive it, have fun with it. That's what it's all about. Kelley, this has been so informative and so helpful. And my next question is, how do people find you? Tell us.
You can find me pretty easy on Instagram. I'm
Okay.
clearly not Kelley. It's my personal site, but it's a little mix of teeth, and you know exactly what you're getting if you follow me on Instagram. But you can reach out to me by text, by WhatsApp, whatever, 289-681-4215. I really am an accessible person. I do work at Clearly Aligned, which is an education company. So if you go to clearlyaligned.ca, that will pop up, and my contact information is there. We'll put in the comment notes my email address. My own consulting firm is OrthoFans, and by consulting, I'm Master Tech. Pretty much that's all I do.
So
Digital.
here's the
Mhm.
good news.
Yeah.
Kelley just gave, hey guys, she just gave you all the different ways to track her down. And she is really good when it comes to what she does on Instagram and Facebook. I really think Kelley, Paramount needs to sign a contract. You need to sign a contract. Life with Kelley. I think you could have your own show.
Netflix.
Guys,
Yeah.
trust
Netflix
me. Check.
Ortho Edition.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Ortho Edition. But no, kudos, because what you do is fun and informative and entertaining, and that's why Paramount should talk to you. But separate
Thank
from
you.
that, in the episode notes
Yes.
for the YouTube channel and the podcast, you will have all the information you need to track this lady down, because she is the person you should talk to help you on your aligner journey. Kelley, thank you so much for your
Thank
time
you.
today. It's been a pleasure. And guys and gals, until next time, thank you for joining us. See you again. Cheers.
Bye. Have a great day, Mike.
Likewise.